All right, hey, welcome back to Seattle Real Estate Radio on KKOL 1300 AM. This is actually Seattle Real Estate Radio. And
what did you just call it?
We just business radio.
Business radio.
It's the business network. Business network.
Wall Street Business Network. You can look at the
I had somebody
right
ask
there.
the other day. They're like, "So is it? What's the difference between like business radio and Seattle Real Estate Radio?" And I was like, "Good question." I think that's the name of the station. We're on the station's business, and we happen to be a component of that. So
we're just one little show.
Which, speaking of, like what we do with Seattle Real Estate Radio is we view real estate, a real estate transaction, as kind of the hub. And there's so many spokes that make up that wheel. And we try to bring in hundreds of spokes. Yeah. And that's the purpose of the show. We don't consistently just have, mortgage and real estate conversations. It's CPAs, financial planners, insurance, everything that has to do with security systems, cleaners, which today we have.
Way to lead into that, Dan. It's like you know what you're doing or something.
I know what I'm going to say. It's like I actually prepared for these.
It's like Shannon spent all night writing a script for us.
We love our producer.
She did. All right, so today on the show we have Laurie Mendoza, and she is with Maid Pro Cleaning Service, which we actually utilize Maid Pro to clean our house. Yep. So thank you.
Thank you for having me.
You do a very good job. She's worked for Maid Pro for 9 years, and she has 2 boys. She's married, and she lives in Woodinville. I asked her if she had 14 dogs. She said she has no dogs. But as soon as her son goes to college, she's going to get her son a dog as a replacement brother.
Yes, exactly.
I think that's a great idea. Maid Pro has been around for 15 years, and Laurie's sister-in-law, Maxine, owns 4 Maid Pro locations: Bellevue in the Greater East Side, Seattle, Tukwila, and Beverton. I think that's their newest one. Yes. So thank you very much for coming on today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're very welcome. So I'm excited because you guys clean our house. You do a good job. I don't have time to do it. Shannon doesn't have time to do it. We got 2 kids. We have 2 cats. We don't have 14 dogs. I don't know why that's my thing right now.
I was going to say, where'd you come up with 14?
I don't know.
That's a lot of dogs.
I know.
I mean, the farmhouse couldn't even hold 14. Well,
yeah, you could. You got a lot of space.
We could hold 14.
How many goats do you guys have?
3. We have 3 goats.
Anything else?
Well, we had a few cats, and the doggone. I think an eagle.
We
have an eagle that soars our property. I think an eagle got our bunnies and a cat. Sad, man. Don't make me. You don't want me to cry on the radio. But no, we did. Sad. Our farm has shrunk recently due to I believe an eagle. I don't think it's the coyotes. I don't think it's a cougar. Huh. I swear it's a big old eagle. I watched him kind of go after one of our cats one time.
Wow.
Out in the field. It's crazy. So.
In Woodinville, you don't have that issue, I think.
Maybe.
Possibly.
Based on where you're
just
at.
south of you, or north of you. Yeah,
he's in Lake Stevens. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Woodinville, I mean, there's parts of it that are like that, but most of where everybody lives isn't like that in Woodinville. So let's talk a little bit about Maid Pro. So you guys, why don't you just kind of give us a general overview of what a maid service does for anyone that's never really used one before, and kind of explain why that it's such a benefit.
Perfect. So typically people hire maids to free up their time, whether it's to, take care of their kids, have free time on the weekend, go out. It's just to free up your time.
Yeah, exactly.
We do it. So that would be the biggest benefit. A lot of times we provide the service when they're at work, but we do have stay-at-home moms too. They come home and their house is clean and they don't have to worry about it. That's the biggest thing, is getting back your time so you don't have to do it.
Yeah, and I think that's the whole reason why we do it. Probably the reason why you have one as well.
Well, it's just leverage. It's like you said, it's leverage. It's I mean, I don't know too many people that really, maybe other than you that enjoy cleaning. I mean, I don't really like it, and it's and for me, it's difficult.
Well, I'm
it's
such
not
a
relaxing.
Perfectionist that I like go overboard. I do like a deep clean every single time.
I'm scrubbing grout, and then my wife's like, "Hey, you've been cleaning for 3 hours. What happened?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Our bathroom looks great, Jenny."
She's like, "Why?"
Yeah.
So that's a big thanks, Dan.
So
Dan with the musical interlude in there. So what is your role at Maid Pro?
I'm the customer sales manager.
Okay.
And
I know that we often get little email reminders from you.
Yes, we have email reminders, and when a client sets up, we email them a schedule, and we're very flexible. If you need to cancel, skip, reschedule, we just require 2 business days. So
cool. Is that pretty common in general for most services? Do you have any clue?
I think 2 business days is pretty casual, 2 days. So I'm not exactly sure, but if people are going on vacation, they just need to skip.
Yeah,
I mean, we know emergencies happen, so, but 2 business days is
cool. So can you give us a rundown kind of how much it generally costs? Obviously, it kind of probably depends on each house and how messy the kids are in each house, too.
Exactly. No house is alike.
No. How many Cheerios they drop on the floor like our house?
Depending on, weekly to move out cleanings, it just depends on what service. So it ranges, anywhere between $30 and $50 per hour, but it really, we do have a lot of different options, and typically it takes a little bit more time that first visit just to get everything up to
snuff and where people expect it. And then that's kind of a good base to work off of.
Yep. And then we come in either once a week or every other week, once a month, and sometimes even people call us just on a one-off every so often.
Interesting. So I know that we have Alma come every single time. Is that kind of how it works? You have the same person that comes week in, week out, or however often you have your scheduled?
With regular schedule, like weekly and biweekly, we send the same team, but however, we'll send somebody different if like our team's on vacation or they're sick. We automatically, that's the one thing about using a professional service is we're going to send you a fill-in team. Your house is going to get cleaned if that person is sick.
Yep. I know one time we had, somebody ran into her, and that was just a couple weeks ago, I think. Somebody ran into her car, and
I do remember that.
She was like on her way to our house, and you guys had to send out another team you got to get the job done.
Exactly.
So that's where I really appreciated having a nice company that actually cares and hey, we got to get it done. We're going to send out somebody else, and she actually showed up a little bit later, but I just happened to run home. I had to grab something for an appointment or something, and saw her there, and I was like, hey, you all right? She's like, yeah, I'm fine. Car's a little beat up, but I'm fine.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And then they take vacation, so we'll send somebody, Yeah. So, but we do like to send the same team on a regular basis.
I think that's good too, because then they get to learn, what the family likes or what the homeowner likes, what value or what level of cleanliness they expect, and
I got a question though. Do your cleaners go through like so let's say that we sign up for your services through an initial consultation. Do you kind of go through with the homeowners to see kind of exactly what they're looking for, what they're looking to do specifically, not just an overall clean like vacuum or sweep?
Yeah, so a lot of people are specific on what they want done. So we work off of a 49-point checklist. That's something that we leave at each client's house, each visit. Okay. And it's very detailed. And then sometimes people just need us to come in and do their kitchen and bathrooms, or they tell us their hot spots, or communication's huge in this kind of business. I tell people, like, if there's something that needs to be done better or that we're not doing, please let me know, because we'll fix it.
Yeah. No, that's huge. I think what was one of our first out, we hired Mary Maids first, and that didn't last too well. I think we signed a contract.
Oh, so we have no contract.
Yeah, we got out of that, but then we hired an independent cleaner, and that was kind of the thing that we did, is we actually got with her and said, okay, we created the checklist because things were getting missed. So I love that you have a 49-point checklist, and then it's customizable too.
Yeah, and we have a satisfaction guarantee. So our most important thing is that the customer's happy, and we're going to make sure that, they leave either, that they're happy and satisfied.
Yep. And you guys do a good job of that. As an actual customer, I can say that.
Yes.
We've been very happy, because we started off with someone else first, and they were all right, but not great. Then we went to Homejoy, which I don't think is even in business anymore, and that was not a fun experience. I understand why they're not around anymore. And then we got recommended to you guys from friends, and we're loving it. It's just so nice. My favorite day of the week, that's for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I think the communication is the most important, because how are we going to ever know if we're,
Yeah.
So that's.
No,
so do you, I know the answer to this already, but just to our other people, Do you actually need to be home to let the cleaner in or to be there while they're cleaning or anything like that?
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
You can be home if you want to, but we do have lock boxes. You can provide a key, so you're not sitting around waiting for them.
Yep.
When you come home, your home's clean. So,
And do they come at a set time? Are they in a window? Is it like we'll be there on Monday and they show up between 8 and 5? Is it like how does all that work?
So we work Monday through Friday. We typically work in 4-hour windows. A 9 to 1, a 10 to 2, whatever's kind of more convenient for you.
Yep.
And sometimes if the person's not home all day long, I find that out, and then I open up the window.
Yeah.
You know, if they're providing us a key and we know that they're going to be gone anyway, then we just kind of work with, but we work in windows. So you pick a day of the week, or we look through the schedule, see what doesn't work for you, what does work for you. And then let's say we said Wednesdays between 9 and 1, your person will come every other week Wednesday, or every week Wednesday between 9 and 1.
Yeah, I think that's how we have it all set up ourselves, and it works. Like I said, it seriously is it's my favorite day of the week. I get home, we got one of the glass top. It's white because we haven't remodeled the kitchen yet. White glass top, stove top, and it's after like 2 times, it's just gross, and I can't scrub it off. I try. And Alma gets in there, and she's like, boom,
Clean.
looks sparkling. You could lick it, and you'd be fine. Even Jenny. I doubt she'd ever do that, though. But
Lick a stove. I was going to ask you, what's the average time that the cleaner's in the house?
Well, you know, it really depends. Like average, 2-story, 2.5 bathroom, 3-bedroom, 4 hours, I would say.
Okay.
You know, but like I said, if somebody wants us in just to do bathrooms and kitchen, we can come in for less time. Sometimes we alternate entire home with what we call a refresher cleaning. So 4 hours, 2 hours, 4 hours,
Got it.
So we can work it with,
Yeah. I love that. The fact you host maybe a get-together, a party, and you just don't feel like the next day, schedule.
yeah, I think that's actually something that
huge.
we should probably look into doing every once in a while, because that's something that's like, God, we just had her in here before to make it look good.
Exactly.
And now it's all messed up again, but we got to wait 2 weeks to have someone back.
I've told Jenny that before. Forget the cleaning before.
Yeah.
Let's you and I do that. Let's hire somebody to come in.
It's going to get messy anyway. And then,
they're wearing their shoes.
Yeah, exactly. So we got to take a quick break here. So we after the break, we're going to come back to hear more from Laurie with Maid Pro. She's going to actually answer some pretty good questions like, do you need to clean before they come over? Stuff like that. So stay tuned to Seattle Real Estate Radio.
You're listening to Seattle Real Estate Radio with your hosts, Christian Nossum and Dan Keller. We'll be right back. We're back with Seattle Real Estate Radio with your hosts, Christian Nossum and Dan Keller.
Hello, and welcome back to Seattle Real Estate Radio here on KKOL 1300 AM. We are here with Laurie Mendoza of Maid Pro Cleaning Services, and I'm learning some things. They already cleaned my house, but I'm learning a little thing that I didn't really know. So, and there's some good questions that I know are going to be asked right now.
Yeah, I'm in the hot seat now.
I know.
I'm
Dan's
excited.
turn to ask some questions.
You're going to learn a bunch in the next 10 minutes. So I'm excited. So shut her down, Christian.
all
right. So, hey, Laurie, first off, thanks for being in here with us today.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is big. I think one of the things, again, where we're trying to talk about using real estate as the center, as the hub of this huge wheel involved with owning a home. Let's talk primarily because we have our listeners, let's just be real, our listeners are people that are past clients, people that are maybe in the market to buy or possibly in the market to sell right now. And
which is pretty much everyone.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Because everyone's kind of in the market potentially to sell, trying to figure that out.
So let's say somebody is selling their house. Christian does a listing presentation. He meets a new client, and he's going to list their home. Talk to me about that particular situation. Where would you guys have a program, or tell us how you would assess that situation where Christian's going to meet with you and say, hey, man, I would like to maybe have you guys come in and get this place cleaned up a little. Do you guys do things like that?
Yeah, exactly. When a house is going to go on the market, we'll come, if it's, getting pictures or it's going to be showing, we'll come in and do a really deep cleaning of that home.
Okay, cool.
And then we, further, if it's a move-out cleaning, it's something a little bit different than that. But to get it on the market, ready to show, yes, that's something that we do.
That was my follow-up question. So
Sorry.
No, you're fine. Like a move out.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Move-out cleanings typically take, it can take double the amount of time as a regular or one-time
6 to 8 hours or
longer
more,
sometimes. Like with the 4-hour cleaning that we were talking about earlier, that's probably going to be between 8 and 10. But that includes inside all cabinets, cupboards, closets, appliances,
fridge,
windows, inside reachable windows.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
It's a very,
So, for example, if I wanted to give one of my clients a closing gift for purchasing a home, they're buying a home. Obviously, the seller's already moved out. It's gutted. Let's say what, Christian? 3,000 square foot or less, 2-story home, just to kind of get it cleaned up for them.
Yeah,
what would
4-bed,
2.5 bath,
something like that.
I don't know. You answer this. Would it be considered a deep clean? What would something like that look like?
Well, really, it would depend on how it was left, the condition, because if you're coming in and we're not going to do inside appliances and cabinets and stuff, that would look probably like 6-7 hours.
Okay.
If they need inside the cabinets or appliances, windows, that's going to look like maybe, 10, 11 hours.
Yeah.
This is a question for you, Christian, real quick. When you sell homes to people and they move in, work with buyers, are homes pretty clean when they
usually are. Sellers are supposed to have them all cleaned up and ready to go by the time they pass it off.
But, I mean, they're not deep cleaning.
They're not necessarily
deep.
I mean, good. Some people do.
Okay.
Some people don't.
Okay.
But they're usually pretty clean.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is something I'm really interested in. I'd love to obviously connect with you guys and offer that. I mean, if I were a buyer and my mortgage lender or real estate agent said, before you move in, we're going to pay a professional cleaner to come in and tune this up. You're like, wow.
Yeah.
Right.
That's great. So, okay, good. That's huge. I have a question for you because this is a question we asked our cleaner. What type of cleaning products do you guys use? Do you have your own? Do you use the homeowners?
No, so we bring all our own chemicals and supplies, and we use all Procter & Gamble professional products, like vinegar and water on the hardwood floors. And if a client has a certain product they want us to use, we can, for sure. But we do bring everything.
Okay. I think that's big.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. I know.
Our house always smells good every day, or every time I come home.
Does it?
Yeah.
I was going to ask you, do they smell good?
Yeah.
One of the things that I really, we have hardwoods, and they said don't ever use any chemicals on them, so vinegar and water. But I hate the smell of vinegar, so it doesn't really smell like all like Lysol-y clean. There's no way around that, right?
I mean,
with
you
hardwoods?
can dilute it a little bit more, so it's not really vinegary smelling. And there's other stuff, that people can use on their wood floors.
Okay.
But that's something that's safe. And our goal is, to go out with products that aren't going to ruin any surfaces. So we don't come out with bleach and strong, like Pine Sol. But all of our stuff are, professional and they clean really well. They're just not going to, damage any surfaces.
Since we're talking about cleaners, like a Pine Sol type product, why is that good? Why is it bad? Where would you use it? Where wouldn't you?
I mean, that's not something that we do provide.
Got it.
It's just a really strong smell. And sometimes people, especially if they have pets and kids or, I mean, that sometimes is a too strong of a smell.
Okay,
so,
good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like the commercials. I mean, they're like whatever their new scent is.
Yeah.
And then you ever actually smell it and you're like, oh, why would you want that?
Yeah.
That's
being
harsh.
so strong, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And then just the thing with bleach, we would never provide that because, what can happen with bleach?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So another great, here's a question that I'm just drilling you with the same questions that my wife and I, when we interviewed ours. Do you put laundry in? Do you actually do laundry for your clients?
We say we do not do laundry. We can wash your linens and your towels.
Sure.
We can strip your beds, and that's not a problem. With laundry and the liability, we don't mind folding clothes, hanging them for you, but washing them, no.
That's what I was going to ask. So linens, mainly like bedding,
stuff
like that. Okay, good.
That's probably good because I know I always get yelled at for washing the wrong thing in there and putting it in the dryer, and I'm not supposed to. And how many shirts have I ruined of yours? Yeah, a lot.
Right.
So, and this may be a silly question, but like, if there's dishes in the sink, you do the dishes, put them in the dishwasher, unload the dishwasher, things like that?
Yes, that's
okay.
stuff that we can do, and that's something that we would discuss with the client. If there's dishes in the sink, they should be done. Sometimes clients don't like us to run their dishwasher. That's something that we would ask. We want to make sure if we're going to unload that we know that those things are going to be clean. So like I said, it comes back to the communication. And
do that checklist.
Part of the reason why I look forward to that day, because my job is dishes, and
you get off the hook that one.
I'm off the hook that
one
day.
Yeah.
They're all done, put away.
Yeah.
Looks great. Yep.
Well, I know Christian talked about this before we went to break, but what's the typical client? Again, how often are you servicing typical clients?
I think the most popular schedule would be the biweekly, the every other week, twice a month.
That's what we do. Yeah.
But we do have clients that even use us 2 times a week, and clients that use us weekly. But the most popular schedule is the biweekly schedule.
I wish we could have you 2 times a week.
That would be my wife, the clean freak.
Yeah.
Can you come out today?
Every day?
Again this week, yeah.
Come back after breakfast?
Yeah. Well, I think a big part, too, after the kids eat.
After kids eat
That's
breakfast.
the biggest thing with kids is...
Bowden throws Cheerios everywhere.
Yeah. And you have that talk with your kids, too. Hey, the cleaners just came. It's beautiful. Don't make a mess.
Exactly.
And you make one meal.
Yeah.
Boom. And it's just
back.
I'm going to the bathroom. I'm going to sit in the bedroom all night because I know it's clean in there.
Yeah,
So we'll take care of that. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So the big question, I'm stealing this one.
You are?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's huge. No, this is big.
This is a question, and I've had clients ask me this. We've talked with friends about this. Do I need to pre-clean the house before the cleaner comes? Because it seems silly, but it actually makes sense that you kind of do. Is that right?
Well, I do think a lot of people do that.
Yeah.
And I feel like if there's a lot of stuff around, they're going to put it away where they think it needs to go.
Yeah.
They're going to tidy up. But that's going to be less time for the deep
Actual
cleaning, the
cleaning.
corners, the edge work, the nitty-gritty cleaning. But they don't mind doing it. And if it's, a lot of homes are, kit toys and...
Yep. It's all toys.
Yeah.
That's all it is at our house. It's just toys.
Yeah.
They got their own little space for the toys,
Yeah.
and they're usually crazy, and then come home, and I'm like, whoa, hey, they're all gone. All right, cool.
Yeah, I know Jenny says that, the morning before I take our kids to school on my way into work. She always says that, hey, clean up, cleaner's coming today.
Exactly.
So she tidies up a little. So on the topic of etiquette, though, because this is another, who do you ask? You ask another friend that has a cleaner, what do they do? But tipping.
Yeah, that's a good one,
Talk
too.
to us a little about what we should be doing or should not be doing.
I do think tipping is... I think they obviously appreciate it.
Well, yeah.
And I think that most clients do. I mean, it can range, 20%, but sometimes, they give them a great Christmas bonus and, or don't tip a couple times and then get a better tip.
Sure. Yeah. So 20%. So per clean, I'm just throwing out numbers. You said like 40 an hour and 4 hours. What is that? $160. So 20% of that, that's not
like
a whole
$30.
Yeah. So,
but anything is appreciated. I mean, if they did an awesome job, I have clients sometimes that come home and are like, "Wow, this was, can we add more this time?" Or how are they doing? If they're doing an awesome job.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that answers a big question for Jenny and I. One last thing, because I really want to tell our listeners a little bit more about your business. How far north and how far south do you guys go?
What are the borders?
Yeah, what are the borders?
We go as far south as Kent.
Okay.
I can see her picturing a map.
Yeah.
And we go to Bothell.
Okay.
We do Kenmore, all of Seattle. And we have a big territory.
Yeah. And as far west as Edmonds, you said.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then east, you're like Issaquah, Sammamish,
Woodinville.
that kind of stuff. Woodinville. All right.
So check this out. Maid Pro has been locally owned and operated for the last 15 years. Their cleaners are licensed and bonded, and they send the same ones for each clean. There are no contracts, and they use very safe, eco-friendly products, which we discussed, which is big. Hey, I want you to call them, and I want you to mention Seattle Real Estate Radio, and you'll get $40 off your first clean. That's very grateful of you guys.
Yeah.
Well, for your minimum.
4 hour minimum. Yeah.
For a 4 hour minimum.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
which
great.
is a normal
It's
clean
huge.
anyways.
Yeah, thank you. So I'm going to give you their website and their number. It's maidpro.com. and you can call them at 877-624-3776. Is that correct? maidpro.com. Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to have all their information on seattlerealestateradio.com. Visit our website. Call these guys. They are phenomenal.
Mm-hmm. And by guys, we mean ladies. But hey,
Ladies, guys. No, thank you so much for coming in.
interchangeable in my mind.
Thank you so much for having me.
This was great information. I mean, it's something that
I think the
learned.
etiquette tips alone were, I guess, worth someone spending 15 minutes listening to us talk about this today.
Well, a light bulb went off in my head, too, about a new home buyer purchasing a home. You know, the last thing you want to do is spend time cleaning, unpacking your...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, this is great.
Well, and what some people do, some of my buyers, they'll move in and then they'll have a cleaner. Because as they're moving in, I mean, you're
tracking stuff.
Because you're not taking your shoes off every time you move a box in. And
Right.
Yeah, so...
Yeah.
It's smart to do it that way.
Smart. Maidpro.com, 877-624-3776. Give them a call.
So after the break, because we got to take one, stay tuned because we got Dan's Mortgage Minute, and there is some stuff going on that you want to listen to. So, stay tuned to Seattle Real Estate Radio.
Seattle Real Estate Radio with your hosts, Christian Nossum and Dan Keller, continues after this.